Hello and welcome to Annie's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Mystery of the Wandering Windmill. Chapter 1: The Backward Blades. In the sleepy town of Windhaven, nestled among rolling hills and golden fields, stood the Arnold farm, a patchwork of heritage stitched together by generations of hard work. At its heart loomed the windmill, a towering relic of ingenuity, its blades slicing through the air to power the farm and the community beyond. But on one crisp autumn morning, a hush fell over the townsfolk as they gazed upward. The windmill's blades, usually a blur of purposeful motion, were spinning backward. Holly Arnold, a wiry 16-year-old with a mop of chestnut curls and eyes that sparkled with curiosity, was the first to notice. She'd been feeding the chickens when the oddity caught her attention, a mechanical hiccup in the rhythm of rural life. Holly wasn't your average teenager. Raised on tales of her grandfather, Detective Harold Arnold, she'd inherited his knack for spotting what didn't belong. And this was sabotage. She dashed toward the windmill, her sneakers kicking up dust. Up close, the evidence was unmistakable: gears misaligned, bolts loosened, a deliberate hand at work. Someone wanted the windmill and the farm to fail. But who? And why? Chapter 2: The Heart of Windhaven. The Arnold farm wasn't just land, it was Windhaven's lifeline. Its sprawling fields yielded crops that fed families, and its dairy cows supplied creamy goodness to markets far and wide. The windmill, with its dual role of grinding grain and generating electricity, was the farm's beating pulse. Without it, the town would falter. Holly's parents, Martha and Thomas, were its weary guardians. Lately, though, the farm had stumbled into debt, unexpected repairs, a drought-stricken harvest, whispers of a buyer circling like a vulture. That buyer was Mr. Grayson, a slick developer with dollar signs in his eyes, dreaming of bulldozers and shopping complexes where cornfields now stood. Holly overheard her parents late at night, their voices tight with worry. Losing the farm wasn't an option. It was her home, her roots, her grandfather's legacy. The backward blades weren't a fluke. They were a calculated strike. Holly clenched her fists. She'd unravel this mystery, no matter what it took. Chapter 3: Suspects and Secrets. Holly knew better than to stir panic. She'd investigate quietly, piecing together clues like a quilt. She started with the locals, those who knew the farm's every creak and shadow. Old Man Jenkins, the farm's grizzled handyman, was first. He'd been with the Arnolds since Holly was in diapers, his loyalty as sturdy as the barn. But recently, he'd been jumpy, his withered hands fidgeting, his eyes darting away from hers. Suspicious? Maybe. Next was Sarah Miller, the sharp-tongued owner of the neighboring farm. The Millers and Arnolds had traded bobs over water rights for years, a rivalry that simmered beneath polite nods at the market. Sarah's latest complaints had been louder, angrier. Could she have crossed a line? Then there was Timmy, the freckled scamp who darted around the windmill like a squirrel. At 12, he was all mischief and no muscle, hardly a saboteur. Still, Holly jotted his name down. In mysteries, no one was above suspicion. She needed evidence. The windmill held secrets, and she'd pry them loose. Chapter 4: Clues in the Shadows. Under a moonless sky, Holly crept back to the windmill, her flashlight cutting through the dark. The air hummed with the blade's eerie reverse whirl. She scoured the base and froze. A wrench glinted in the grass, alien to the farm's toolkit. She lifted it, her fingers tracing an engraving, a crescent moon. Her pulse quickened. Mr. Grayson's business cards flaunted that same symbol. A direct link to the developer. It seemed too neat, too convenient. But it was a lead. Tomorrow she'd face him. Chapter 5: The Developer's Denial. Holly paddled into town at dawn, the wrench tucked in her backpack. Mr. Grayson's office sat squat and modern, a stark contrast to Windhaven's weathered charm. After a tense wait, dodging the secretary's glare, he emerged, all polished shoes and cold smiles. She thrust the wrench forward. Found this by the windmill. Your logo's on it. Explain. His brows shot up. Sabotage, preposterous. Yes, I want your farm, but I'm no criminal. That symbol's common. His voice was smooth, rehearsed. Genuine shock flickered in his eyes, but Holly wasn't sold. Not yet. She left her mind churning. If not Grayson alone, then who? Chapter 6. Betrayal from Within. Outside, she nearly collided with Old Man Jenkins. His face paled. "Miss Hollett, what are you doing here, chasing answers?" she said. "Jenkins, what's going on? You've been off." He hesitated. "Saw someone by the Windmill night before last. Hooded cloak. Couldn't make him out. Didn't want to worry your folks." A cloaked figure. Holly's skin prickled. This was bigger than she'd thought. She raced home to rally her family. Chapter 7. The cloaked figure. In the cozy living room, Holly spilled everything. The wrench. Grayson's denial. Martha clutched her coffee mug. Thomas paced. They agreed to guard the farm tighter, but Holly craved action. She'd stake out the Windmill tonight. She enlisted Emily, her fearless best friend with a knack for gadgets. "You bring your walkie-talkie. We're catching this creep." Chapter 8. Midnight found Holly crouched behind hay bales, Emily on standby via walkie-talkie. The windmill loomed, its backward spin a taunting riddle. Hours dragged her eyelids droop until a rustle snapped her awake. A cloaked figure slunk toward the windmill. Holly's camera flashed, capturing their silhouette. The figure whirled, spotted her, and bolted. She sprinted after them, branches clawing at her, but they vanished into the woods. Panting, she retraced her steps. The chase had failed, but the night wasn't over. Chapter 9. The Torn Note. Back at the windmill, Holly scoured the bushes. A torn scrap of paper snagged her eye. "A meet at the old barn at midnight. Plan is in motion." The old barn abandoned, isolated, perfect for scheming. She'd check it tomorrow, but caution was key. Chapter 10. Secrets in the Shadows. By afternoon, Holly and Emily reached the barn, its sagging beams groaning in the wind. Voices drifted from within. They peered through a crack. Sarah Miller and the cloaked figure, mid-conspiracy. It disabled the windmill completely. "Grayson buys the farm. We split the cash. If that Arnold girl's nosy, we'll handle her." Sarah. Greed had twisted her rival into a traitor. A twig snapped under Emily's foot. Sarah's head jerked up. They ducked behind a tree, hearts hammering, and slipped away once the coast cleared. Chapter 11. Unmasking the culprit. Holly needed the cloaked figure's identity. She hatched a plan, leak a rumor she'd found damning evidence, baiting them out. At night, she rigged a net trap near the windmill and waited. The figure appeared, hood up, steps cautious. They hit the trap. Holly yanked the rope, netting them. She ripped off the hood. "Timmy," the boy squirmed. "Sarah paid me, said it was a prank. I didn't mean no harm." Timmy, a pawn. She freed him, extracting a promise to quit. Sarah was the puppet master. Time to cut her strings. Chapter 12. The Final Confrontation. Proof was Holly's weapon. She and Emily planted a recorder in the barn, then hid. Sarah and Grayson arrived, smug and plotting. "If final payment's yours." "What windmill's done. Arnold's are sunk." "Your project's greenlit. Riches await." Holly grabbed it and bolted to Sheriff Johnson. He listened, jaw tight. Conspiracy and sabotage. Their finish. By dusk, Sarah and Grayson were cuffed. Windhaven buzzing with shock. Chapter 13. A New Beginning. The windmill spun true again, its rhythm restored. Martha and Thomas beamed at Holly. "Your granddad's proud somewhere," Thomas said. The town hailed her a hero, but Holly felt the farm's heartbeat strongest. Her victory was its survival. Standing by the windmill, she smiled. More mysteries beckoned, and she'd meet them head-on. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had or have a great day.